So Dynamite was last night, obviously a really stacked card. Shock, I really enjoyed it. Obviously, this is the go home for Forbidden Door. This is this weekend. Let's talk about the show because there's a lot to talk about. And honestly, just to get out the way, stellar card, really good. So our first match of the night was the Death Riders, Claudio, Yuta and John Moxley versus Brodido, Brody King and Bandido and Mistico. We have a backstage segment before where John Moxley saying, eat you know, because they've all got matches tonight going, eat, well, besides Pac, but I don't think Pac was even there. And he goes, each and every one of you, look out for each other, all that. And then they're about to do the huddle and they invite Ospreay in because Ospreay is there. And then he obviously, you know, he starts doing the huddle with them and he falls over and they're all laughing at him, which is pretty funny. But, yeah, and then the match begins. Now, straight up, I have never seen Brody King move like this in my life. What the hell? This was great. Brody King's moving. Bro, there's this one point where it's towards the end where he has Claudio and Moxley. He throws you out the ring and he does pair them. And he runs up, does the rope, does like a little, it's not even a Hurricane Rana, just fucking, does a fucking springboard off the bottom of the bottom rope. Bear in mind, Brody King, I don't think it's the bottom rope, it might be the middle or top. And he goes, and he does a Bandido's losing his fucking mind outside. That was brilliant. And then he jumps in and they all do like the gum thing and then they all do dives at them and Mistico. This match was fun and chaotic as hell. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, the Death Riders do get the win. But, oh no, did they get the win? I forget who got the win, to be honest. It was early. Point is, I really enjoyed it. I thought Mistico obviously looked great. He was off the pace a bit with Brody. Like, you could tell Brody and Bandido with the tag team, obviously. But Mistico's just that fucking good. I just really like the novelty of Mistico and Moxley being in the same ring isn't lost on me. I think that's great. It's nice to see Yuta back, obviously. Says first time he's been back since Shane Taylor took his ass out. This match was great. This match was really, really good. Obviously, Moxley and Claudio and Yuta have all got this insane chemistry with each other. Brody and Bandido, I mean, Jesus, everything you do with Brodido works for me. That's just too damn good. And, yeah, I cannot wait for Moxley vs Bandido, admittedly, but I'm baffled they haven't got Brody King on that card. In any way, there's no Brody King. That's beyond me. I think that's insane. But you can tell Brody King and the Luchas is just a thing, and I fucking love it. I've always loved that, but yeah. This is an opener. The crowd were really into it. The pace, obviously, was really good. This, I really enjoyed. I thought this was great. After this, we actually get Team Mark Briscoe backstage, where they're just talking about saying, you know, we've all got Mark Briscoe's back. It was Darby saying, it was Darby. It's everyone besides Briscoe, admittedly. And Darby was like, you know, end of the day, we're all here for him because he got told it's not his time, when it was like, that was similar to me. We're here to help Briscoe. And, you know, obviously they all want each other. You know, like, Takeshita wants Fletcher. You know, Roddy reiterates that he hates MJF a lot. You know, stuff like that. And then Cassidy goes, yeah, we've all got, I'm going to get bags for everyone. And Takeshita's like, what? He's just baffled. But basically, yeah. And then they just go, where's Mark anyway? And he says, and Kyle goes, hey, he's got a promo at the end of the night. He's going to address everyone, so don't worry. And that was kind of it, just kind of establishing it. I thought we'd get a bit more, but we don't, but that's fine. The team stays the same, which I was very shocked at. I thought we were going to get some Tak and Ishii was going to get brought in, which they should have done. Now, after this, we actually got our women's TBS Survival of the Fittest qualifying match. The first one tonight, we got Marina Shafir versus Harley Cameron. Now, I said this very sternly in my preview. I don't think Harley Cameron wins. Harley Cameron walked out in Supergirl gear after being on the premiere. I knew Harley Cameron was winning that point. I still don't agree with it. I don't. I thought the match was kind of just out of nowhere. It was kind of wild. I do think what was interesting about it was the fact of they really put over like Marina Shafir as the dominant one here, obviously, as they should. But I thought like, the Harley continuous roll-ups was a bit weird. And then the reaction. So Harley does get the win. It's a short match. There's not really much to say. It's just Marina kicking her ass. She wears boots. She wears boots for the first time. She got something cover her feet. And then she takes them off to do them. Tarantino must be loving that. Again, for other sickos. And what I thought was a bit weird was the reaction after the ending. Because Harley gets a roll-up, essentially. Harley does this knee to Marina on the apron, which looked fucking brutal. I loved that. I thought that was an excellent move by Harley. But like Marina's actual reaction to losing was just like you know, biting her lip type of deal, and it's like I just thought to me I thought Marina Shafir would lose her mind and just absolutely decimate Harley and just brutalise her, and then for like Statlander or someone to come out. I thought that would be the obvious call, but apparently not. I'm still not a fan of the call. I get why they put Harley in there, because it feels like it is because of the Supergirl stuff, you know, to kind of capitalize on that promo. She was in Supergirl gear, like I say. I just feel, for me, it's very hard with Marina Shafir's presentation to just not have a win all the time. And I do think they did it in a better way than I thought they would, where they didn't make it look even. They made Harley a real underdog, where it was like very much a sneak victory. I just still would have rather had Marina Shafir in the TBS belt match, because frankly, I think Marina Shafir deserves a belt. I think she's deserved it for a while now. She just constantly shows up. She's great. I like the character, like, development from Marina in terms of the personality and the charisma. Well, like, she's doing this. She's done it again. I was thinking about it, then she done it on the match. She goes, I need you to do better. I love that. I think that's such a good little, you know, little line for her to use. But I'm not against Harley being in there. I just didn't think Harley should have beat Marina Shafir. That's my thing. But hey ho, they clearly do love Harley. I like Harley. I think Harley's fun. It's just, I always think there's a limit with what you can do with Harley. I think you can't go overboard with Harley. And I think they might have done here. As long as she doesn't win it, it's whatever. I just think, me personally, Marina Shafir, I would rather have Marina Shafir. But they did it in a way where it doesn't feel stupid, which I do appreciate. The match was fine. Not really insane, but the result is the main thing. After this, we actually get Will Ospreay versus ELP. Now, this match was just wild and just fucking athletic as hell, as you expect, obviously, from these two. I never knew these two faced off with each other. I never knew that originally. That was quite wild to me. But I thought the chemistry, when you watch the match, the chemistry's there. The chemistry's really there. Obviously, Ospreay does get the win. I do like how ELP's got this, I don't want to say optimism. It's just this, like, I've seen ELP very limitedly, but I have seen him before in New Japan, and he's really good. It's just, it's this character thing. I just didn't think I didn't see that in his last one, and I thought this one, I seen that a bit. It was like, come on, Will, like, you know, just like some, like, sort of just pure character. I don't know how to describe it, but it was really good. Obviously, Ospreay looks great. He looks a lot more aggressive, as you expect, obviously, on the upcoming to the Swerve match this weekend. And honestly, as good as the match was, and I think it was a really good match, I don't really have a lot to say. Like, immediately, I feel like that sounds bad. I feel like just, it was one of those matches where you expect it to be great. It was great, and it was just, like, the moves, what you expect, the Oscoters, you know, the, we didn't get, Death Ground, I don't think, if I remember that correctly. I don't think we got a Death Ground this match, which I thought was definitely going to be the move. They're very hot and cold with that. Obviously, the Hidden Blades are ridiculous. ELP, I would like to see ELP have another match on Dynamite or Collision. I would like to see that. I think, honestly, again, the Forbidden Door main event, you know, you still got pre-show matches to fill. You could get ELP on there. He's over there for a reason. Stuff like that, you know what I mean? I feel like that makes sense. But as a match, I thought it was really good. Again, I haven't got the most descriptive knowledge on this one. I can't really say too much because I'm a fool. I think it was when I was kind of making certain tweets and stuff. So, sorry about that. But I did enjoy it. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, everything Ospreay's doing, I do enjoy. So, this match I thought was great. I thought it was. Obviously, Ospreay does get the win. But the athleticism on show, especially from him and the ELP, let's not overshadow how athletic he is great. After this, so what I really liked, I'll say this about Dynamite now. So after this, we got Swerve versus Danny Garcia. Now, what I like is, this Dynamite had this very natural transition flow to it, and I love that. I always love when Dynamite does that. So Ospreay's walking up, and then Swerve music's hit, and obviously them two look at each other and walk off. That was it, really. The match itself, I thought was great. I thought this one was great. I thought they made Garcia look pretty aggressive and pretty good. I do think they're missing that calculatedness from Swerve still. I feel like that's still something that I do wish they'd... I said this about the Swerve versus Ospreay match in Forbidden Door 24. It reminded me how much I like that calculated Swerve. I do miss that. I miss that here specifically. I do feel like here, Garcia looks good, obviously. It's not as technical as I thought it'd be, but Swerve's just so overwhelming, so just... with the Swerve Stomp specifically and just how he's doing it. Swerve does hit Hidden Blade on Ospreay, which I thought was absolutely excellent. I thought that was really good. On Ospreay, on Garcia, sorry, obviously. And he does, I think he goes for, Garcia goes for a Styles Clash, actually. That was sick. I popped hard for that. I love Garcia doing a Styles Clash. That's sick as fuck. Obviously, Nana's in there. I think Nana pulls his leg back, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's, if I'm trying to remember, it's been a long morning. It's a heat wave here, so apologies if I'm more of an idiot than usual. But I do feel like this match, I feel like it, not that it went long, because I love Danny Garcia. I love the fact that they're going forward with Danny Garcia more of a singles guy again. But I do feel like, you know, give him some wins. I'm not saying he should have won Swerve here, but I feel like the way they presented them, they could have made them look a tiny bit stronger. But I don't know if that's just me being a bit picky on bias with a wrestler I like. I'm not going to say he's buried like some fucking idiots. But I actually like the match. I like how Swerve actually won, obviously, Christ. I feel like Swerve, he looks driven but not calculated. That's what I really notice, is there's a lot more of a drive with Swerve, obviously with the Ospreay stuff. Now, what was the main thing after it is, after the match, obviously Swerve continues to attack Garcia. And then Ospreay runs out to make the save, throws a chair at Swerve, which was fucking close, and then, you know, it's clearly getting in his head. And Swerve and Nana, like, because obviously Swerve saved Garcia, which is a big deal. And then, what I thought was funny as hell is Swerve and Nana just posed by the fucking trophy of the Owens, like a fucking sitcom. It's so stupid, but I really enjoyed it. I thought we'd get a promo with Swerve and Ospreay here, like at least a little speaking thing, but we don't. But I think the visual of them just staring down each other from the ramp to the ring was definitely great. But also, Ospreay saving Garcia is a big deal. That's very much a big development with the Desperados, especially after Garcia rage bait him. Calm down, just words, stuff like that. But yeah, as a match and everything with the Ospreay stuff included, I thought that little flow was absolutely stellar. I love when Dynamite has this great flow, and it continues throughout the show. After this, we actually get Team MJF backstage. Well, now called Team DC MJF. Yeah, Don Callis from MJF, whatever. And he goes through the family. And, well, not MJF, but, like, they all go through the family going, you know, everyone got something to say, and, you know, Kevin Knight goes very much, I want that title shot, and Max goes, yeah, whatever, Sam. Like, he just doesn't give a shit. And Jake Doyle's like, rah, and he goes, Okada, the greatest wrestler in the last 5,000 years, what do you have to say? And he just goes, bitch. Like, he doesn't have nothing to say, he just says bitch. Then Kyle goes, my turn to speak. Takeshita, I'm coming for you to take that international belt to prove that the family didn't need you and I'm the new alpha, which I liked. And then he's about to go to Andrade, and then Max just obviously cuts in and goes, yeah, whatever, and then starts cutting a promo on Briscoe, saying he's never kicked out the J Driller because he's never had to, obviously building that up. And then, you know, then he turns around and goes, look, everyone, we weren't on the same page. And he goes, you know, we need to sort that out. And then he just coughs, Andrade, and Andrade is continuously trying to go at him, but, you know, he goes, got a cough. And so then they do that, and then he goes, I've got an idea what's going to make us work as a team. And he pulls out this shirt with Don, and it's Don to the fucking family painting again. But it's just him and MJF shaking hands, obviously in muscle with, like, the fucking thongs or whatever. It was funny as hell. And him and Max are just smiling. The rest of the family hate it. And by the way, Trent Barretta and Rocky Romero are just standing there, obviously following from last week where Trent thought he was going to get put in. That was great. And Max just goes, what are these guys doing here? And Don goes, oh God, I knew this was going to happen. Go! And it's him and Rocky. I just thought that was funny. Give me a Trent. Just get Trent something. I like Trent. But I thought this promo was absolutely hilarious. I thought we'd get a substitution here, but we didn't. But that's fine. I thought this was great. I thought it was really funny. I really liked the dynamics between everyone. This was really fun. After this, we actually got Jack Perry versus Zack Sabre Jr. Now, I like this match. I do think what I liked is they really, I don't know if it was intentional or just Jack Perry being Jack Perry. I really liked how they were able to really show how just versatile Jack Perry was. I think they really showed that. I think obviously Sabre Jr.'s holds are just ridiculous. And, you know, he's very much in control the entire match. He's a lot cocky. Like, even the referee, like, he's doing, I forget, he's just, I think he was on the apron. He was doing, like, some sort of hold or just striking him when he shouldn't have. And Bryce was dragging him off and screaming at him. He just goes, okay, like, bowing in Japanese. I love that. And, but the match was fine. I do feel like they could have get this a bit more oomph. I feel like the problem with this was the card was so stacked that this was kind of just like one of those matches that was affected by how stacked the card was. But honestly, anytime you get to see Zack Sabre Jr., no one's going to complain. He's that good. He's clearly one of the best technical wrestlers in the world, if not the world now. I do love how he's portrayed here. I do. I think Jack Perry does his job very well. The finish is great. Jack Perry's getting his arm just basically torn, which I love. And, well, I love, but you know what I mean? And Sabre Jr. is just like tap, you know. a lot of the holds from Zack Sabre Jr. look brutal, and I love how Perry sells them, really sells that pain. He doesn't give up straight away, but he does a verbal tap. I think it was a verbal tap at the end. That's how the match finishes, and I do like that. I thought that was really good. I thought that was the best way to do it, admittedly. I do think, I don't know what this means for Sabre Jr. and, you know, for Perry going forward, sorry, because obviously there is rumours of the contract, but I'm going to make a ramble about Jack Perry soon, so, you know, stay tuned for that. But I just feel like, this match, for someone a fan of Jack Perry and a fan of Sabre Jr., I feel like if you had this as a main event of a Collision, this would have got a bit more of time, a bit more, you know, spotlight, and I feel like that's what it missed. Not its fault, the match was great, don't get me wrong. I just feel like, you know, just the position and the card being so stacked, it's a nitpick. I don't care. That's what it is. But after the match, TMDK, Bad Dude Tito, and I forget the other dude's name. Apologies, I'm terrible with names. And they start attacking Jack Perry. Sabre Jr. is just laughing. And then you hear the Young Bucks music. And obviously, that indicates the next match that we have. Yes, the next match, obviously, is the Young Bucks versus TMDK. This was very short. I didn't expect this match to be as short as it was. I do like how the Bucks are just, you know, the Bucks are, you know what you get in the Bucks. Again, there's not really, admittedly, too much to say. Bad Dude Tito does a lot here, and I really like how they put a lot of emphasis on him. The other member of TMDK is fine. I do think he does obviously have great chemistry and great athleticism. It's just, the Bucks are very much the pace setters and the ones controlling the match, which is good. Obviously, I'm a fan of the Bucks, so I'm never going to complain about that. But I do feel like it is something that it can kind of hurt a match sometimes. This match didn't help itself from being short. This one felt like a very much okay, we got to get this in to get the Bucks involved, which I don't mind. I don't actually dislike at all. I just feel like it's something that you can notice. But I do think the match was good. I feel like the match was just, it was one of those matches where, because it's short and you can do whatever, really, it's just one of those where you just go, okay, let's just make it instantaneous, go. And then, you know what I mean? And there's no real downsides to it. And that's what I really enjoyed. Obviously, the Bucks doing the dives, the super kicks, everything about it. That's what I really liked. It was a fun match. It really was. After the Bucks do get the win. And after the match, obviously, Sabre Jr. and the TMDK come out. Well, Sabre Jr. is still there. But the TMDK get up and attack. The Bucks start brawling at them. Then, obviously, Kenny's music hits. Kenny and Jack Perry as well, which Jack Perry's arms wrapped up to sell and obviously ice on the shoulder. And then him and Sabre Jr. have a tiny bit of a promo off where he goes, Zach, blah, 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 you know, Forbidden Door, let's get it on, blah, blah. Let's get it on. Let's basically have a match, you know, fuck it. I'm paraphrasing, you know what I mean. Let's have our match, you know, I'm going to prove to everyone, and I'm out for redemption, obviously, very much insinuating the redemption pay-per-view, which is clearly the plan for me. And then, what I like is, what I didn't like, actually, I'd say that he goes, and let's make this basically clear, hopefully people don't just not care about you like they did last year. Where it was like, whoa. Admittedly, I was at Forbidden Door last year. That was my fucking match. That was the match I was most excited for. That was excellent. Kenny, you are wrong. And then Sabre Jr.'s going, give me the mic. And he just goes, Kenny's trying to stay out of the, try and stay out of the hospital, darling. And he walks off. So, you know, kind of to insinuate, you know, I know you're weak, Kenny. I like that. I like the little thing. I don't know why Kenny said people won't care about you like they did last year. It's like, that was stupid. I just don't think that's true. At least unless I'm the only one who did. What the fuck? I thought that was the fucking most anticipated match of the night for me, personally. But, whatever. This was a fun match between the Bucks and the segments after it. Again, the transitions, everything between it. I love that. I love when AEW does that. I think that is definitely the best way they handled everything tonight. But yeah, match was fun. Obviously builds the Kenny and Sabre Jr. stuff. We could have got a bit more of a promo for the match, but, you know, short and sweet. We know what we're getting. I liked it. Thought it was really good. Now, after this, we actually get our other TBS Eliminator match, Survival of the Fittest Eliminator match, whatever, between Queen Aminata and Red Velvet. Now, admittedly, I will say, there was Alf, buddy of the channel, he commented when I made the preview saying I didn't think Red Velvet was incredible or great. I just thought she was not bad. I take that back. I forgot how good she is. I might have just admitted that I forgot how good Red Velvet was. She's excellent here. I forgot how athletic she actually was. And I didn't realise that. Aminata looks that she's very much attacking Aminata's neck. Which, and like the back and the neck, which obviously is very much the injury that Aminata, that's why she's not really being involved as much. But I will say her striking with Aminata, because Aminata is very much a strike-heavy wrestler too, which she's great at. She really is. But them two having that chemistry was really good. I assume they've had matches before. I don't remember if they do, but they probably have. And you can just tell there's a chemistry there. A lot of chemistry this night, if you can tell. But I thought this match was great. Aminata gets the win. I don't like how the match was presented, admittedly. I thought the match, for me, I feel like it felt like we need to get it on there, let's just go. And obviously it was the one before the main event. It felt very much just thrown. And not in terms of the actual match, I mean just in terms of the presentation. The crowd weren't really into it, but it wasn't their fault. The ring, again, this is a match like the Sabre Jr. one, where it feels like if this was on Collision, this would have been a lot more appreciated. I feel like that's the problem with this. But as an actual match, bell to bell, I thought it was great. I really did. I like that Aminata's getting back in there. I like how they really mentioned that on commentary. You know, her last run was excellent, obviously, with the Tekla stuff. That's what I'm really waiting for her to get back. Red Velvet, again, I forgot how good she was. Just the strike and everything, but more the technical side. As a technical wrestler, I forgot how good she is as that. She really gets some good movements and some good reversals in there. So, honestly, hands up, completely mistaken. Red Velvet is better than what I remember. All for that. But yeah, this as a match I really enjoyed. I hope people kind of appreciate it a bit. It feels like a match that won't be, but I thought it was a really good match. Nice to see Aminata back and get the win. I like the blonde hair. She's got. I think that looks pretty cool. But yeah, Aminata being back is something that I'm a big fan of, but also Red Velvet as well being in there. That's a match that I really liked in terms of both being so strike heavy. Hopefully this isn't the last we see of Red Velvet on TV again, because she's pretty good here. Really good. And obviously so is Aminata. After this, we actually get the Young Bucks backstage, where they're going to talk about their match for Forbidden Door, which is a three-way tag team match between Sky Team, Mistico, and Dorada to rock the bottle there, and also Shingo Takagi and Titan, obviously. And they about to talk about their match, and then they just see brawling. I'm like, what the hell? I thought it was going to be the Desperados or something to do with the teams, obviously, you know, because they've got the promo later with Briscoe. But no, it's Cage and Cope and the Dogs. They're having a brawl again, obviously, you know. I forgot about that. And, you know, they're just going at it. The Dogs, you know, basically get them over. It's just one of those brawls. They go to the makeup counter. They go to the, Clark Connors grabs the makeup lady in front of them. That's pretty funny. But they walk off. They leave Cage and Cope and they do his 5-second pose. But David Finlay's got the old Edge and Christian glasses. You know, the ones that go over. That was funny. I didn't expect to see that. Where do you get them? Can I have a pair? But, yeah, fine. Just a brawl. Yeah, no words said. Just kind of building their feud a bit more for Forbidden Door. I forgot it was on. But, yeah. At least it didn't get ignored. I'll say that. But the Bucks obviously have to go, you all good? And they go, yeah. You know, so, like, they're clearly, you know, trying to get the Bucks back in there a bit. They even say that in the little promo segment they have. But either way, it's fine. It exists. It's fine! After this, we actually get our main event, which is Konosuke Takeshita versus Ricochet, which was everyone banned from ringside, which they announced midway through the show for the international belt. Now, the match was great. The match was absolutely stellar, and I love how the fact they just went, fuck it, let's go. Takeshi's got a whole new look with the white, obviously, but he's got the white Tron now, which obviously is, you know, just much better. And what I like is they both put over the jacket, and then Ricochet throws the jacket at Takeshita, and that's how he gets on top for the match. I love how Ricochet's presented here. He's very much the controller of the match. He's very much the vocal point. I love how even it's a much more serious Ricochet, which I like. I like a lot. I love Goofy Ricochet, but I love how this one's portrayed too, in the sense of with Ricochet, like even the ball chants are happening, and he just goes like that, acknowledges it, but doesn't play into it too much. That's what I really appreciated. Again, like everything in wrestling, there's only, you know, you can't really go too far with it, because you got to realise how good Ricochet is. Everyone knows how good Ricochet is. Takeshita's just brilliant. I love how, again, a lot of the match is Ricochet, and then Takeshita gets one big elbow, and then it's like, you know, the weight difference, Ricochet's out, and then it becomes a lot more even. The match, I don't think it is better than their previous match at Full Gear. Personally, I thought I think it was Full Gear anyway. That was excellent. That was phenomenal. I really enjoyed that. But this one is still pretty damn good. For me, it's probably my match of the night. Again, it's hard not to be. I do feel like, about this match specifically, I feel like it's one of those matches where because everything else was a big match tonight, it feels like this one didn't have that extra oomph to it. And not in terms of in-ring again, but just in terms of the presentation. The crowd were really up to it. Obviously, I love how Takeshita obviously gets the blah, the Raven Rabbit knees, I call it. The blah! Hits that. Gets a blue Thunder Bomb. Ricochet doing a lot of reversals, a lot of kicks, obviously. A lot of stuff on the apron, which I liked. But overall, I thought this match was great. I do feel like it felt like a pay-per-view quality match, and I feel like that is a big compliment to it. But I do feel, for me, it suffered from being on this card. This card's so stacked for its own good, but also it's it's its own problem. But I loved it. I thought it was a suitable main event. I thought it was definitely the main event. Ricochet obviously does get beat. I thought there'd be more antics after it. Obviously, with the Gates of Agony not being there, it's portrayed more of a straight match, which I do like. Ricochet for me, if they can, I want them to continue this Ricochet. Obviously, Takeshi, there's no improvements needed for him. The fucking best in the world. Ricochet, however, I would continue. Just continue it like this. I thought the GOA had a bit of involvement, obviously, even after the match, but they don't. I like it just a lot. I really do. I thought this was just a solid-ass title defense, and that's all it needs to be. It doesn't need to be this match of the year contender. It doesn't. But the fact that it is just a stellar match, that's great. That's fucking really good, to be honest. I like this a lot. I thought this was excellent. Hopefully they keep everything up about this. I thought this was great. After this, again with the transitions, I love how so Takeshita's walking out, and then Briscoe music hits. Reach for the sky, boy. And then him and Takeshita start, going, yeah, bro, all that. And then Takeshita puts him over walking out, and then Briscoe has his town hall where he's calling out Max, saying, Max, I know you're gonna, the scum of the earth, and he's demanded his title shot, saying, with him and Jay Briscoe, you've never kicked out the Jay you've never killed out the Jay Driller, and then he starts calling out the Cracks and Don Callis family, saying they don't care about you, they don't hate you, they're not gonna help you at all. And then Don Callis walks out and he goes, what are you saying? What are you on about? And then, Don's trying to argue with Mark. And then Max sneaks up behind Briscoe, starts attacking him, and then it becomes one-by-one brawl. Then, Takeshita comes in, and it's just one-by-one. Everyone in the team. Jake Doyle gets a lot of it. And then Orange Cassidy hits Orange. So everyone one-by-one. Takeshita comes in. Fletcher hits Takeshita. Okada. Well, Fletcher hits... I forget who Fletcher... Well... Yeah, Fletcher gets hit by Takeshita. Takeshita gets hit by Okada. Kyle O'Reilly hits Okada. Then I think it was Kevin Knight. Yeah, Kevin Knight hits O'Reilly. Then it was Roddy hits Kevin Knight. And then when when Roddy gets hit, it's Jake Doyle. Then Jake Doyle wins that one. And then Jake Doyle wins that one. And then Cassidy comes in, hits an orange punch. And then Max comes up and hits a low blow on him. And then Andrade comes in to save Max, which was a big deal. And then he goes... and then, he's trying to tell Andrade, he goes, where were you? Watch what you're doing, and all that. And Andrade's basically fronting him, full-on head-to-head. Really building that up, and I love that. I love that that's very much a focal point of this whole little arc with the Don Callis and MJF stuff. And then he tells to Andrade, get it up as he pulls the Dynamite Diamond ring up, pull him up, holds him up, and Max hits Andrade with the Dynamite Diamond ring. And what I love about it is he goes, as soon as he hits him, he goes, watch where you're going! It's funny as hell. But then, Max gets hit, I think it was by a Jay Driller, and then they all stand tall. Briscoe holds the belt. Big call, obviously. Briscoe holds the belt. Looks pretty good, too. And that's the end of the night. I thought this as an ending segment was very predictable, but also very good. There's not a problem with predictable. And the Andrade stuff getting a very much... I thought the Andrade stuff would kind of be second nature compared to the Kevin Knight and Fletcher stuff. There's no Kevin Knight and Fletcher stuff. But the Andrade stuff with Max is clearly obviously, I feel like that's going to be the bill for All In, as it should be. I like this. I think this was definitely the way to go, and it gives me more hope with that. But overall, as an ending to Dynamite, I thought this was what it needed to be, and it really excelled in that. No problem at all. So yeah, that is Dynamite this week. What did I think about it? I thought it was great. I thought the show was absolutely stellar. I do think the only decision I disagreed with was obviously the Harley Cameron one, but again, nitpicking. But then also, I do feel like the card was very stacked for its own detriment. I do feel like matches like the Sabre Jr., like the Aminata versus Red Velvet kind of suffered from that bit in terms of the crowd. It felt like a pay-per-view quality card, which I'm never going to complain about, but, I'm just from a crowd point of view. I do feel like there's some stuff, like they have a vignette for Maya Wilde and Mercedes. They confirmed there's a match in Collision for that. They have obviously a vignette for Starlight Kid and Tekla. No Tekla appearance, was a bit wild. I love, and I said this obviously previously, I love how the transitions, they made sure like the TMDK and the Jack Perry and Sabre Jr. one was connected. Desperato's ones, even the fucking Briscoe and Takeshita ones. I love that. I think that's absolutely stellar. I think that's when Dynamite excels. I love like those small interactions when they're walking in and out. Everything about it develops. It's a great, as a go-home show, it's absolutely fantastic. There's no notes for me on a go-home. I think it really excels everything it needs to, and that's what I think that's its main goal, and it succeeds in it. It really does. I do feel like it kind of leaves Collision just there. You know what I mean? I feel like they could give a bone to Collision like this week, but hey-ho. I was surprised we're getting a Collision this week. I didn't think we'd get one. But I like this. I thought this was... No announcements for 0 Hour cards, which was a bit of a shock. No Pac and Shota Umino. I think that's the only match that didn't get any coverage on Dynamite for the main card. But I like this. I like this a lot. I thought this card was great. Again, small issues, but again, the pacing was great. And I mean, just in the terms of the transitions, I thought that was stellar. I thought this Dynamite was really, really fucking good. So yeah, let me know what you thought of Dynamite. That's my thoughts on it today, obviously. Let me know what you thought of it and what's your anticipation for Forbidden Door. And what was your match of the night and what was your favourite moment of the night tonight, because there's a lot to talk about. Am I being a nitpicker? Probably, but let me know what you thought in the comments below.